Logos have been recently getting simpler and flatter, but most of all, they've been getting uglier. I mean, what in the world is this? This simplification is why I thought I would make 3 logos super realistic to restore their culture and identity.
Starting with this wonderful Burger King logo. I'm using your logo for this because they recently changed it to one which I don't like at all. It's really flat. It's the reason I'm making this video. But I'm gonna start by deleting everything from this burger, which I found online as a PNG. Let me just delete the meat. There we go. Delete a bit of the lettuce on the bottom. There is quite a lot of sauce. So now what I want to do is I want to take this bun and I'm gonna split the layers of the buns. So I have one bun in one layer, one in the other layer. And I'm gonna deform it in a way which matches the yellow bun above the Burger King's sign, so I can make it hyper realistic and make it as if it's a burger, because I'm gonna make this whole thing look like a massive burger with the sign Burger King in the middle. So let's put the bottom bun at the bottom. There we go. And guys, please don't judge me on this. I said I suck at Photoshop, so these may not turn out to be the best logos in the world, but let's find some onions because I've got an interesting idea for the outside. This outside blue bit can be many curved things, but I think it will be especially relevant if we make them onions, because onions are usually in burgers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna delete the extra onions, and using the warp tool I'm gonna warp it into a curved shape which kind of matches the curve around the Burger King logo. There we go. A bit more. It's a bit fiddly with the warp tool, you gotta kind of fix it, but I'm gonna try to do it as best I can. Curve it a bit more towards the end. I just need to find the right dot. Oh, there we go. There is the right dot. Now we pulled it up, and now this onion can become the ring around our Burger King logo. Let me just delete everything else apart from the sign Burger King, because we're gonna keep that and everything else is gonna be hyper realistic. But I've got an interesting idea for the sign as well. So right now we've got this, right? But I'm gonna bring in the burger again, because I kind of want to make the Burger King letters look like the stuff from the burger. I think it's gonna look even cooler and even more hyper realistic if we make it like that, because currently the sign is kind of flat. So I'm gonna select all the letters, even the R at the bottom, and then I'm gonna shape them like the burger stuff photos. So now we've got the tomatoes, we've got the meat, and all these stuff of the burger inside. I'm gonna add stroke. There we go. Add some bevel so the letters look 3D, and we are nearly done with this. I'm liking how it's turning out. Right, a bit more blurry, a bit darker. Okay, yeah, thinner stroke. Okay, I think that's fine. And the final result that we reached is that the Burger King logo is now a lot more realistic, and in my opinion this is a way better logo, and it's much more recognizable than even their previous logo, let alone their current one, which in my opinion just sucks. Up next we've got the logo of KFC, which I want to make look like the face of the founder, so I had to do some research into the KFC man, who turned out to be a name who goes by the name Colonel Sanders. So what I want to do is I want to take his face and shape it like the actual logo, but I just need to get the sizing completely correct. So I've turned the opacity down, and now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to shape him like the face on the KFC logo, which is supposed to mimic his face, and I think it does look like him, to be honest. It's a pretty good impression, but it is quite flat, and it is not as recognizable as his actual face itself. because to be real, this cartoony 2D face can literally be anyone's face. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reformulate his face a bit, delete some parts, and I'm gonna add the bow tie. This logo is quite quick to make because it's literally just his face. But then we just need the two little ribbons on the bottom of the bow tie. It's an interesting bow tie. I haven't seen a bow tie like this before, but apparently Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, was a pretty posh guy and he knew what to wear. Drop a comment if you knew who the founder of KFC was, because I had no idea before this video, but I found him out now. I think the face is a bit too thick though. I think it has to be squashed a little bit to match the actual face in the logo perfectly. So let's see, we're gonna move it across. Yeah, make it a bit bigger. Okay, I think that's fine. That is pretty good. So now what we can do is we can play around with the brightness and contrast a bit, because I want to make it look kind of logo-ish and not just a photo of his face. Right, that's too dark. Yeah, a bit lighter. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And now we're just going to remove the original KFC logo from the tub, and we're going to replace it with our new and improved version. So guys, please be sure to get your nearest KFC as soon as possible and check out this wonderful new logo which I have designed. And as you can see, the final result is literally the head of the founder, and I think it's going to look much better on their product. So next time you're going to have more personality in your KFC logo when you get your fried chicken in a bucket. To finish up the big finale, which turned out the best, you've all been waiting for this for a whole time, and this is Pringles. So I started by getting this photo of this random man who had to be bold to fit the Pringles scheme of things. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete all of his body except from his head. There we go, erase it carefully towards the head, and I'm going to stretch him. Right, this is, to be honest, it does look a bit weird at the start, but you're going to get where I'm heading when we get to the end. But because the Pringles logo is so stretched out, it has to look like that. I have to stretch the face, because otherwise I can't make out the Pringles shape. And now I've just tried various different tools to mix in his face and blend it in the background so you can't see any of his features. So I'm blending it. First of all, it's not turning out very well. I'm changing the color of the brush a bit. I'm changing the opacity, the flow. So finally it turned out pretty good after a lot of work. I need to mix it in a bit more. Now it's too yellow. Okay, now it's starting to turn out pretty well. And I added some texture.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, guys. It's fine. For a person who's using Photoshop for like the 10th time, this is fine. I'm more of an Inkscape kind of person, so I like creating vectors more. But anyway, this is still good, and I also love Pringles. I love KFC and Burger King. I basically love fast food like most people, so this was a very interesting and personal video for me to make. Now I tried a few blending modes to blend the moustache in well. I finally settled on one which I like best. Now I'm gonna just delete all of the features of this guy's face except for his eyes and nose, because I feel like if this is gonna be a real man, it's gotta have a nose, even though the Pringles logo has completely cut it out. Maybe he doesn't need to smell anything, because I don't know, it smells really bad in the Pringles factory. Or maybe it smells really good and he's gonna eat all the chips. I don't know. But we're gonna reformulate this face a bit, reformulate the eyes with the control, change the perspective so it kind of matches the mustache. We're gonna put it there. The only thing we're missing now is the hair. But before we go into the hair, I'm gonna try to add some of the textures of the original man's face onto the new face. So I'm gonna cut out his eyes and mouth. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put him behind and lower the opacity and change the blend mode as well, and blend some of these holes which I made into his face so that it's not that ghostly and it's just a normal logo. Because honestly, yes, at this point, if I go into a shop and see this, I would freak out, but now it's much better. And to be honest, I would still freak out if I saw this in a shop, but who knows, maybe Pringles are really gonna love this logo and they're gonna want to buy it from me, which I'm willing to do, to be honest. Now I'm trying to make his beard a bit more convincing with the clone stamp tool, so I'm just stamping out different areas of his beard. Yeah, I think that's really good. There we go. Right, now we only need some hair. So I'm gonna go and find an image of some hair. Oh, this dude's cool. Right, this is the guy whose hair we're gonna use. We're just gonna delete all of him. No. And just leave the hair. I'm just gonna put it behind and reformulate it a bit so that it matches the perspective of the Pringles logo. And I'm just gonna use the same kind of hair for both sides. I'm just gonna flip it because I feel like that's kind of what they've done with the original Pringles logo, which, to be honest, I'm using this one because I find it much better looking than the new one. I had to get some advice from ChatGPT as well, but yeah, obviously this old Pringles logo is much better than the new one. The new one's really flat and unoriginal, I find. But there we have it, guys. The Pringles logo is made hyper realistic, and honestly, I think this logo looks much better than the original, the old original, should I say. More logo and graphic design videos will be available soon on my channel once I make them, but this is only the beginning of a very exciting journey, so stay with me, guys, and hopefully you can grow in Photoshop as I do as well, and grow in graphic design. Thank you for watching.